Right, welcome to the BTM Club Kitchen. Again, here we are, and I'm gonna get told off because I'm doing it again. I'm cooking lamb. All of a sudden, I absolutely love it, and I don't know why. But today is going to be really about the featuring of the dry seasoning. So here is a shoulder of lamb that I have scored, and we're going to use my dry seasoning on this. Get it down in between those little crevices, and then we are going to brown it in the pan and cook it down in tomato puree, herbs and red wine. So here is the start. Shoulder of lamb, seasonings, homemade seasonings. This is just an old jar here, and these seasonings are mixed herbs, a little chili, black pepper, salt, and onion powder and garlic powder. So that's one side done. Got a little bit more down in there. It's actually quite hot. Those chilies are quite potent. So according to your taste will determine how much you use. Okay, so that's one side. Here's the other side. Yeah. Get it down in there. Perfect. And that is going to go brown in some olive oil. Right, now here is a little olive oil in the bottom of a pan, and we are going to put that there to brown. Very simple. Just let it catch, get some color, and then turn it over. And then we're ready to add the sauce, which is Beaujolais. Here it is, the Beaujolais, and tomato puree, brown sugar, and that's it. So we're going to let that brown on this side, turn it over, and then add the sauce. Right, now here this is browning nicely. I'm turning it over. There you go. See? Just browned nicely. And here is some brown sugar. There we go. That was a tablespoon, by the way. So we're letting it brown on the other side, and then we will add the sauce, the Beaujolais, the tomato puree, and water. Right, now you see it's all about the timing, because if you look to the bottom there, you see how the brown sugar really caramelizes to give you that good color and taste. You don't need to use browning or food coloring. It happens naturally with brown sugar. Okay, I'm going to turn it back over. This is real old school pot roast, I tell you. And now I'm going to add the mixture of Beaujolais and tomato puree, and then just leave that on the top to cook down. And here it is. Beaujolais, tomato puree, mixed herbs, spices, garlic, and just let that cook and do what it's got to do. Right, as you can see, this is coming to the boil now. It's getting quite aggressive, and I'm going to add just a little bit more Beaujolais, and all I'm going to do is cover that and let it sit and do what it has to do for about an hour and a half. Maybe turn it once, but not too often. It'll do what it's got to do. Now I'm going to save you the boredom of watching me peel potatoes, boil potatoes, and mashed potatoes, but basically it's going to be served with mashed potatoes and candied red cabbage. but I'll show you the red cabbage in a second. Right, now I think you all have discovered by now this is my favorite pan. It cooks beautifully. So as I said, that lovely shoulder of lamb, not leg, I prefer shoulder because it's got a bit more fat and it's always very juicy and tender. So that beautiful shoulder of lamb in Beaujolais, I might add, is going to be served with candied red cabbage, and it's very simple. I just throw it in, saute it for a bit, add some black pepper, salt and sugar and water, and then cover it. Red cabbage is one of those things that you can cook it for as long as you like and it just gets softer and softer and more mellow. Unlike green cabbage, that the more you cook it, it just looks awful, tastes awful and smells even worse. So yeah, it's just about putting this in the pan, sauteing it with a little olive oil, black pepper, salt, brown sugar, and add some water and cover it, and Bob is your uncle, as it were. Right, here we go. In goes the red cabbage. In goes the red cabbage. A bit more is coming. Be patient, be patient. A bit more is coming. There you go. And unfortunately, in these circumstances, I can't say here's one I made earlier. I've always wanted to say that. I love it. So here's one I'm making right now. Red cabbage sauteed in a little olive oil. Here is some salt. As I say, we always say a pinch of salt, but a pinch depends on how big your hands are. Okay, so black pepper with my favorite pepper mill, which you're all used to by now. And hold on a second, the brown sugar. Brown sugar really is the secret ingredient, you know that? It really is the secret ingredient. So this will really give it the candied taste. I don't want it to be like sauerkraut, you know what I mean? All bitter and acid. So put that in, give that a stir. Let's add some more heat to that. And when it starts to cook up a bit more aggressively, I then add some boiling water, cover it and let it cook down. Right, as you see, the heat is picking up momentum here. Can you see through all that steam? There we go. And all I'm going to do now is add the water. Stir that up so the salt and the brown sugar and black pepper take. Don't want it too overly seasoned, for the simple fact is the lamb shoulder is heavily seasoned, so kind of goes better with slightly blander flavored things like mashed potato and sauteed candied cabbage. So that is it. That will now sit down and all that water will eventually disappear and become like glue, and it'll be so sweet and delicious. Perfect with the shoulder of lamb and mashed potatoes. Okay, as you can see, all that fluid and liquid has reduced and it's all starting to split from the bone, which is great. So I'm going to turn it over now. It's been there for some 25 minutes. I'm going to just turn that over. There you go. Beautiful shoulder of lamb. Just browning down, pot roasting as we call it. And I'd say it needs another 20 minutes and then we're done. Put it aside to rest. Right, the red cabbage is well and truly candied. It's done. And I'm just gonna cover that back and let it sit and cool perfectly. There we go, that one's finished. But the lamb, look at that. It has really split from the bone, as you can see. And I think I'm going to turn it one more time. I'm going to turn it one more time and just leave it to sit again for maybe another 15 minutes. You see, these bits are my bits. They're the bits that get the sugar. Love it. So yeah, leave it maybe another 10-15 minutes and that should be done. Let's cover it back, shall we? Right, this leg of lamb is done and finished, and here it comes. There we go. Right, I told you I'd spare you watching me peel and mash potatoes. So there we are. There's your mashed potatoes, obviously. And I felt like putting some avocado with it. There is your pot roast lamb and candied red cabbage there. That's it. Dinner. I am starving and I am ready. Enjoy yours, whatever you're having. BTM Club Kitchen, over and out.